I've had this image of an osprey staring back at me from the desktop of my computer for over a week now, and I thought that in today's video I'll take you out to the location where I took this photo and explain the events leading up to it. So let's go. So this is where my day began. This is Sandy Beach, my local beach. I try to get down here pretty much every morning, have a bit of a walk, take some photos of birds just to clear my head, get my day started. And sometimes when I get to the southern end, I'll keep walking down to Fittermans Beach. It's not as good for bird photography, but on this particular day it was. And let's go down there and I'll explain what happened when we get there. So this is Fittermans Beach, a rather rough looking Fittermans Beach today. We've had some really big swells lately, and it's washed a lot of debris up onto the beach, like right up into the entrance to the beach. There's a big log there blocking the walkway and everything, so it's been pretty wild here over the last couple of days. It wasn't this wild when I was here the other day. What I did was I walked all the way to the southern end. Down there I found a couple of sooty oyster catchers just hanging out on the rocks, just looking for a feed. Took a couple of photos of them. And as I was sitting there on the rocks for a little while just watching the waves, I noticed that the terns were fishing just offshore. They weren't quite close enough to get photos of, so I thought I'll leave the rocks, I'll walk back up the beach and see if I can get a little bit closer. But the further I walked, the further away they seemed to get. I ended up running up the beach to try and keep up with them. Obviously the school of fish they were eating was heading this way, and they were just moving too fast for me. By the time I caught up with them, the fishing spree was over and all the action was done. So I decided to leave. As I was leaving though, as I sometimes do, I looked back just to see if there's any birds flying towards me that I could take a photo of. And I noticed that all the terns had settled on the beach, or they'd started to land on the beach and have a bit of a rest after their little hunt. So I decided to spend some time with them and take some photos and some video. So this is where I got this footage and these photos from. And I'm just gonna we'll just head down the beach a little bit, and I'm gonna give you a few tips about making your bird photos a little bit more interesting. Let's go. So you can see in these photos and this footage here that I've got my camera down at eye level with the birds. Now this is a really important tip because this can make a good photo great. So at every opportunity with your bird photography or your wildlife photography, try and get at eye level with the bird or the animal. Now with a camera like the Nikon D5200, if you've got the articulating screen on your camera, it's fantastic. You can flip that out. You hold the camera down practically this far above the ground if you want, which is what I did for some of this footage. And it really gives a fantastic perspective. That's why it makes a good photo great, is because it's not a way that you normally view a bird or an animal. We don't normally get down at eye level with animals when we're just walking around in nature. But as photographers, we need to, because it provides that extra bit of pizzazz, if you like, to the photo. I want to talk to you quickly about this, one of my most necessary outdoor photography accessories, a tarp. When you're outside at the beach, or you might be out in the bush or somewhere, the ground is very dirty, right? You don't want to get all that dirt and sand all over your gear. A tarp is great. You can fold, this is a 3 by 2 meter tarp. You just fold it up. It fits into the laptop pocket of my backpack, because I don't bring a laptop, but you can find somewhere to stuff it into your backpack. When you get out somewhere like this, you just get it out, lay your gear out on it. You can take everything out, lenses, whatever you've got, and it'll stay clean and dry. When you're finished, just pack it up, clip it onto the outside of your backpack. This one's got eyelets too, so maybe you could hook on a carabiner or something, hook the eyelet through, carry it to your next location. When you get home, take it out, clean it off, and you're ready to go for next time. There's a link in the video description to a few tarps just like this one. So I got about halfway down the beach and I've sort of looked further down and I've seen this bird flying around. Now it didn't look like an osprey at the time, but I knew it was a bird of prey of some kind. So I was watching it carefully, kind of just walking along. And then I noticed it was hovering between the headland or the cliffs and the rocks. And I thought, it's hunting. So at that stage, I start to walk really fast because I got to get a photo of this, right? A little bit further on, I noticed it flew up into one of the trees on the cliff down there. So I got my lens out, I've zoomed in on it, and I've seen that it was an osprey. So this has got me even more excited. So I hauled ass down there. And as I was doing that, it flew from the tree down onto the rocks. And I've never seen a bird of prey on those rocks before, so I had to get a photo of it, and that's where I went. So let's go down there now, and I'll show you exactly where it happened. So just on this rock behind me is where the osprey has landed, and it was just quietly perched there, just having a bit of a rest, I guess, from hunting. Now, I approached really, really slowly across these rocks as much as I could, and I got to within about 5 or 10 meters of it, and it was just amazing to be that close to such a beautiful, beautiful animal. So it wasn't terribly concerned with me. I did approach very, very carefully because I didn't want to scare it off, but it really wasn't that worried about me. As I said, it let me get quite close, and it was just amazing. So let's go. I'll just take you a bit further across the rocks, and we'll just stand at about the same distance I was from the bird. Of course, this lens is probably not going to do it justice, but let's go anyway. So this is about where I got to. I'm about, let's say 8 to 10 meters from the rock, and the osprey was right there. Through this lens, it looked like it was right here, you know? It was just so incredible. They are such incredible birds. They just fascinate me so much. I'd never seen one before moving here to New South Wales. We used to live in Victoria, and we didn't see them down there. And the first time I saw one up here, I got so damn excited. And since then, I've had so many great experiences with osprey. I've seen them from my kayak. I've seen them walking around the lake in Woolgoolga. I've seen them walking on the beach here, and I've seen them eating fish. I've seen them catching fish. It's just an incredible, incredible place to be if you're an osprey photographer. And there are a lot of other birds that come here too. There's some cormorants out there today, just sitting on the rock out there. You get sooty oyster catchers here, terns, seagulls, of course. I've seen a bushstone curlew here once flying past. I've never seen one of those before either. It's just, you know, you just got to get outside. If you can find the time to get out. There's a sooty oyster catcher just landing just now. I'll take a photo to prove it. Not that you'll know that it was taken during this footage, but that was a bit shaky. We'll be surprised if that's in focus, but you've just got to try and find the time just to get out and be there. If you are there, the birds are going to show up, you know, eventually. You know, this is the reason why I get so many decent shots, is because I'm out here a lot of the time. I've made a life for myself where it's possible for me to be out here as much as I can. And, you know, it's what I want to do. I don't earn a great deal of money, but I'm happy to have the freedom that I have. And I know that one day all of this work I'm doing here on my YouTube channel and on my websites is going to pay off. And that little bit of guilt about not having enough money or not feeling like I kind of don't contribute to society, I guess, a little bit, will go away. And I'll just be free to be out here and just do this much more often. If you're not a subscriber of mine and you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you are a subscriber and you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, ding the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. I do a vlog like this in the first week of every month, and the rest of the month is photography tutorials, camera gear reviews, and photography business advice. So I got nothing more to say. Until next time, I'm Barry Callister of Photographer's Freedom. Get out here, take some wicked shots. I'll see you soon. Seagull. Overexposed. You get that. Bye.